Hello, and welcome to our official launch of the TruthViews podcast. This is a space where I share my truths and my views. I'm not here to change your truth or tell you how to think. I'm just sharing mine in hopes that it makes you pause, reflect, and maybe see something from a different perspective. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So, today I want to talk about something that comes up every year around this time, whether people name it or not: winter. And more specifically, what winter does to people. I've been noticing lately how different the energy feels, how conversations sound a little heavier, how people seem more tired, not just physically, but emotionally, how motivation feels harder to come by, and joy feels like it takes more effort. And what stands out to me is how quickly people start blaming themselves for that. They say things like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just can't get it together. I should be doing more. I'm just being lazy. And every time I hear that, I pause. Because what if nothing is wrong with you? What if your body is responding exactly the way it's supposed to? A lot of people are familiar with the term seasonal affective disorder or SAD. But even if you don't identify with that label, the reality is this: winter changes us. Less sunlight, shorter days, more time indoors, less stimulation. All of that impacts mood, energy, focus, and emotional capacity, whether we acknowledge it or not. And here's the part I want to say carefully and honestly. I have not personally experienced seasonal affective disorder myself in the way that some people do, but I have lived close enough to it to understand it. I've watched my partner move through it. I've listened to friends describe it. I've seen how it quietly affects daily life, how simple things feel harder, how energy dips, how emotions feel closer to the surface. And what I've noticed most isn't just the fatigue or the low mood, it's the shame. The shame people feel for something they didn't choose. They start asking themselves why they can't just push through, why they don't feel like themselves, why they can't operate the same way they do in other seasons. And that's the part that really gets me. Because we live in a culture that praises productivity no matter the cost. We're taught to keep going, to power through, to stay busy. So when winter slows us down, when our bodies naturally want more rest, more quiet, more stillness, we treat that like a problem instead of a signal. But what if it's not a problem? What if it's information? When the body gets less light, it adjusts. When the environment changes, the nervous system adapts. That can look like needing more sleep, having less energy, feeling more introspective, pulling inward. And instead of meeting that with curiosity or compassion, we meet it with judgment. We tell ourselves we're falling behind. We compare ourselves to versions of ourselves that existed in completely different conditions. And then we wonder why everything feels so heavy. Truth is, sometimes what we call depression or lack of motivation or low energy isn't a personal failure. Sometimes it's the body saying, I need something different right now. I think winter exposes how uncomfortable we are with slowing down, how uneasy we feel when we're not producing, how hard it is for us to sit with ourselves when there's less distraction. And even for people who don't experience SAD, this season still asks something of us. It asks us to listen more closely, to move more intentionally, to stop forcing ourselves into rhythms that don't fit the moment we're in. Watching people I love navigate this season has taught me that compassion changes everything. Not fixing, not rushing, not minimizing, just understanding. Understanding that energy isn't constant. Understanding that capacity shifts. And understanding that needing rest doesn't mean you're weak. It just means you're human. And maybe that's the most important thing we can do during this season is stop moralizing our energy levels. Low energy is not a character flaw. Needing more rest is not laziness. Slowing down is not giving up. Sometimes it's wisdom. Sometimes it's survival. Sometimes it's the body doing exactly what it needs to do to protect itself. So here's today's truth is. Truth is, sometimes it's not that you're unmotivated. It's that your nervous system is tired of surviving. And when we understand that, we can stop fighting ourselves and start caring for ourselves. I want to leave you with this question, not to answer right away, but to sit with. Where are you experiencing summer energy in a winter season? Where are you expecting summer energy in a winter season? Be gentle with yourself around that. This has been TruthViews. Thank you for listening. Thank you for slowing down long enough to reflect. And remember, truth doesn't have to always show up loud. Sometimes it shows up quietly, just asking to be heard.